What's the easternmost point in the US? Well, it's actually a more complicated question than you may think. The simple answer would be Maine. Sail Rock, Maine, to be specific. And if you said this answer, you'd be right, but only in one way of looking at the easternmost point. This is only right if you think of the easternmost point in the United States as relative to the United States itself and looking at the US as only the 50 states of the US. But you have to remember the overseas territories of the US. In this case, if we include the territories of the US, not including embassies, bases, or war cemeteries, which are technically US soil but not US territories, the easternmost point in the US relative to the mainland United States would be Point Udall in the US Virgin Islands. Interestingly, the westernmost point in the United States, relative to the United States, is also named Point Udall, this time in Guam, but that's a topic for another time. So these easternmost points are all talking about east relative to the US, but we must remember that that's not really what east is. East is a relative term, and in its true sense, it's all about longitude. East essentially means to the right of the prime meridian line, while west is to the left. So when we look at Alaska, which includes a long line of islands called the Aleutian Islands, we see that what was west eventually becomes east because this island chain actually crosses the 180th line of longitude, the exact opposite of the prime meridian. Therefore, the closest island to the west of the prime meridian, Semisapuchnoy Island, holds the title of being the easternmost point in the United States. Now, this creates a very interesting paradox where the easternmost point in the United States is actually west in terms of direction of travel of the westernmost point of the United States, Amachinac Island, by about 30 miles. This is, of course, assuming that you're looking at the westernmost and easternmost points in terms of longitude. Now, to finish off, this creates one more paradox, where Alaska holds the title of being the northernmost, westernmost, and easternmost state all at the same time.